Okay, thank you. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you for the introduction. And thank you, Anna and Mari, for joining us, because the group is small, as Jessica was saying, but it's a good opportunity to get a little bit closer to the destinations that are possibilities, the affiliate programs through Northwestern. So I'm happy to be here and to be able to explain you a little bit where we are and what we and what we do and how our programs are organized. I represent the University of Deusto, and our campus is in Bilbao. So let me share with you the screen so that I can have some photos and a little bit of help through the session. And please do interrupt if you have any question, any kind of doubt or question, or anything that you would prefer to be talking about, that we talk about while we are here. Just let us know, yeah, through the chat, or do not worry to interrupt. Yes, as I was saying, the University of Deusto is in Bilbao, and Bilbao is a city in northern Spain. I don't know if you have heard about Bilbao. It's one of the largest cities in the northern coast of Spain. So we are very close to that border to France, in that northern area of Spain. We are like 4 hours by car from Madrid, which is in the center, the capital of Spain. Yes, Bilbao has an international airport that connects with all major European cities, and we have around 1 million inhabitants in the metropolitan area. Although the city itself, the city center of Bilbao, it's quite walkable and not very huge. There are around 300,000 inhabitants in the Bilbao city itself, yeah, in the city center. What to do here? Well, our image is the Guggenheim Museum, and actually the University of Deusto is just in front of that museum. That happened by chance. History brought us there. We used to be in front of the port area, very heavily industrialized area of the town, but there was a very important regeneration process and the urban area of Bilbao changed radically, and that change really benefited also the campus of the University of Deusto, so that we are now in front of the museum and in front of the new image of the city by the river. There's an estuary, a river that is very, very close to the sea, and following this river like 7 miles, we would get to the area of the beaches of the coast. Okay, inside the city, we do not only have the art that the Guggenheim and other museums brought to us. There's also a quite interesting cultural life, music, theater, a part of the scene in Bilbao. The gastronomy is also well known. Yeah, food is very important in this area of Spain, overall in Spain, but we are part of the Basque Country, and it's especially famous for the restaurants and also the pinchos, which are like tapas, like little bites of food that people try out while they meet friends and colleagues after work or on weekends. Also, students like to taste that local cuisine, and there are plenty of opportunities to do so. There is a lively old quarter, and in generally life outside in the streets is very lively in Spain, and also in this area of the country. So one of the things that students always talk about is that very different culture of being outside in the streets of the town after college, after school, after work, and meeting people outside. No, we have a mild weather also that helps that. We do not have extreme temperatures in Bilbao. There's not a very hot summer, and there is not a very cold winter. We rarely have snow around, so we do have some amount of rain, that's true. We are very close to the ocean, and this is a quite windy area, not cold wind, but we do have clouds moving, and often showers coming too in the fall or in the spring. Yes, we are surrounded by mountains, so every photo that you see about Bilbao, it's very easy that you find green and mountains surrounding us, because we are like in a hole between mountains, as I was saying before, very close to the beach. So the time outside, also hiking, surf, are quite usual activities among the students in their time off. Getting to the academics, the University of Deusto has different schools, and we belong to the social and human sciences school. Yeah, I represent the International Spanish Center that organizes semester and summer study abroad programs with US universities. We have different agreements, and one of our agreement is with Northwestern University. So we are part of that school of social and human sciences, but there are other schools in our university: law, business studies, engineering, health sciences, education and sports, and then that social and human sciences. Our programs try to be organized from that school, but making students, handing students the possibility to join courses in the different schools. Okay, so coming into one of the semester programs, you will have the choice to enter classes that are organized by us, but also classes with local students in other schools. Okay. The school, the university, is a Jesuit university, and it was founded in 1886, which is a time when Bilbao became a big city. It was an important port town in that area of Spain, but industrialization was brought at the end of the 19th century. Started many companies and lots of economic movement, and so the city really grew into what more or less it is today. And the institutions representing arts, but also education, were set at that point. Also the higher education system at Deusto. No? Nowadays we have around 10,000 students. The campus is a small city campus, very well connected with the city. As you can see, we are just in front of the city center of Bilbao, of the museum, connected with different bridges with other parts of the city. We have a tram station just in front of us, and buses stop around. There is also a metro station, 2 metro stations, very easy to walk to. So public transportation is big in this area. As I was mentioning before, there are 2 affiliate semester programs with Northwestern that you can find information about, lots of information about them on the website. There's a business, international relations, and Spanish program, and a Spanish language and culture program. You can see courses on the website that the Global Learning Office has. You can check them there. Just typing Bilbao, you get very easily to those programs. And I think it's really a good idea that you check with Jessica and with the people at the office for the equivalences and other things like dates, deadlines, but also scholarships. So it's important that you know that you have lots of information about that there. And of course, you're welcome to let us know if you have questions, doubts, if you're looking for a specific course. As I was saying, there's a bunch of classes that you would be taking with other international students in the THEDE programs, in the study abroad programs, but there are also ways to kind of customize your experience. And I think that's important when you plan ahead study abroad, that you find an experience that really suits your interests, maybe because you want a class, for example, let's say in psychology with local students, a specific class that will transfer back for your major. Maybe you want to check that very well in advance so that we can help you find that class. But there are other possibilities too, for example, an internship or a service learning class, or maybe you are not going so much into the academics, but in your personal part of the experience, you want to make sure that you can continue practicing a sport, no? And you want to check that on advance. And we are very well connected with Northwestern's office, so we can share information and trying to plan your semester. Okay, I brought some pictures of groups of students learning through experience, which is an important part of the semester abroad, and one of the things that we try to make sure that is part of our classes. For example, this is a group of international business students. Those would be students in the semesters. We also have a program in the summer for that international business course that always has some field work. Yes, some trips to companies where you will get to know the people that are working in different areas. This one is a visit to the automotive cluster in the Basque Country. Yes, and they are getting to know that project, and as a group with their instructor, with their faculty going there, they will later have to develop some essay or some readings also in order to prepare that. So it'll be part of the class. This is a course in Spanish language, but it's specifically Spanish through gastronomy. It's quite a popular class. As I was saying, food is important. Students like to try that, and this class teaches Spanish, but through actively doing things with the language. And one of the things is cooking. Yeah, and students will get to a kitchen in the local farmers market. There is a kitchen there that they will be using. They will get those aprons, all of them, and a chef, a local chef will teach them how to prepare different dishes, no? And they will be working also with a Spanish instructor in understanding the vocabulary, the expressions, and that so that when they get to the kitchen, they can understand the chef who is going to, like on TV, you know, shout them a little bit about what they need to do. And later they will have that lunch together, no, to try what everyone did. There's another class in Spanish through theater, Spanish through drama, where students will be at the end after a little bit in front of others, but mainly they will be working on scripts that they themselves write after reading some Spanish drama. So that's another way of doing things with the language, which is one of the things that we try to make sure. This is another kind of field trip. This is a visit to an association of migrant women. That is part of the gender studies class. Yeah, so we have a class about gender studies in Spain, and as part of that class, they will be visiting this association, meeting the women there, talking with them, and sharing a nice afternoon coffee time with those women, sharing experiences and questions and doubts. Another kind of activity will be the trips that are part of the semester. No, there's an itinerary that all the students will be following, and this is one of the places that we visit. San Juan de Gaztelugatxe, which became very famous as a Game of Thrones filming location. We'll be visiting south of France every semester because it's very close to us. So we will get there in 1.5 hours by bus, and we'll be visiting a little bit of France from the program's point of view. We'll be visiting also Madrid as a weekend trip. Yes, so there are some highlights in that cultural trips itineraries too. You can find about that also on the website, the kind of things that we are organizing. Anyways, it gives you, a semester gives you a lot of time also to organize your own semester. I was saying you have to make sure that you have your academic plan, maybe your personal plan too, and there it's quite usual that students plan some traveling around Europe as part of the semester. That's important. Bilbao is well connected with other places, and our students usually visit places like Paris, London, yeah, as part of their experience too. Having some weekends in the city is also important, because there will be also many options to join the local community and some cultural activities, no, in the town. So that's also part of it. We will be pushing you a little bit in order to do that. Yeah, the university has university groups in different areas, in cultural areas, in volunteering, in solidarity. There are sports organized on campus. This is not as big as it is in the States. In Spain, the culture of doing things on campus is not to be compared with the US culture in that, but there are opportunities to meet people, and we know that our students like to have these opportunities, and we try to make them available for them. One of the very typical things is, for example, to make sure that you have a conversation exchange partner. Yeah, once you arrive, that some local students will be meeting with you, and maybe as groups or maybe individually, you will be sharing languages so that they can practice their English and you can practice your Spanish. No, and those are good ways to know people and get in contact with the community also. No, so other things that we organize and that are very important have to do also with things like health and medical insurance, or housing, the airport pickups so that somebody will be waiting for you when you arrive, orientation days when you are arriving. We will be also trying to advise you through the registration time, because you will have a pre-registration that you do with your advisors, but once you're here, often there are scheduled things that happen, and you have to make sure that you can change if you would like to change some class. So we will be helping you through that. Yes, so that's part of our services, and yeah, and that'll be it from our side. So I tried to give you some ideas of what we are doing here on at the University of Deusto in Bilbao, but as I was saying, happy to know if you have any comment, any question, any doubt, if you would like to know about anything specifically. So just let me know.
Hi, Mary, I can take this question. And you're being very considerate of your roommate. Yes, through the programs, the students do pick what classes they take. You are required to take a Spanish language course. You'll take a placement test to determine level. Aside from that, you can choose any of the courses available through the program. Or as Itzi said, usually in the fall, one course at the university with local students, if that's something that you're interested in doing. Yeah. I will mention that the gastronomy class that she was talking about, and then there's also a football soccer class. Yeah. Those are very popular courses. They do not transfer back to Northwestern for credit, but students always take them anyway, just as an overload. So something to keep in mind. but yes, you are totally able to choose your courses.
Yes, all students will be taking a placement test when they arrive. Everybody has to take it. It's really it doesn't hurt. It's really an easy part of the usually of the first day, actually, and it helps us to organize groups and to make sure that we know a little bit of the level of all the students. So that's what all international students coming to Deusto are doing on the first days. But then yes, it's important that each of the students can take the classes that they need, that they want to. Yeah, so yeah, the students live either in family state, which would be our most recommended option, because the one that really helps you integrate into the community life and talk more Spanish. But there is also the option of residence hall, where you will be also living with lots of local students, so there will be many chances to meet peers there. And there's also the option of apartment stay. Yeah, the apartments are shared apartments with other students. We try to make sure that there is kind of a mix of students in those apartments. It's not always that easy, but usually the apartments are shared with other countries' students or with local students. Thank you, Maddie. How many students are in the program at a time? Well, the programs, the semester programs are usually the students come from the US, different universities, but mainly from the US. Sometimes there is a student from somewhere else, but those programs are really intended to fit the calendar of the US and the kind of credits and kind of courses that US universities are expecting you to fulfill while you are abroad. Yes, most of the students coming from other countries, and there are lots in at the university. At every semester there will be like 400 students coming from Europe mainly, doing exchanges instead of doing this program. Okay, the study abroad program right now in the fall we have 29 students, but this is post-COVID, and we are in a very specific situation right now. In the past, we used to have like 50 students in the language and culture program and 20 students in the business program. So it was larger numbers. In the spring, so next spring, we are going to have again around 30 students counting both programs. Yes. One thing is the study abroad program, and another thing is the university itself. Yeah, and there will be plenty of options to meet local students and other international students. But it's true that, well, you have to have an expectation about that. So it's nice that you were asking, Anna. So there are now, so that you have an idea, there are now 2 students from Northwestern. Yeah, there used to be a little group of students in the fall. Is it right that the fall is much more easy for?
Yeah, because we're quarters, the majority of students go in the fall. We have 3 students on the business program right now. I would say pre-COVID, it was between 5 and 10 that we would send between the 2 programs. I anticipate we'll get closer to that in the future, but yes, most students go in the fall. If we have anyone in the spring, it's usually 1. So
okay,
nobody for this coming spring.
Yes, and I think it's very important too that you get to talk to students that have been abroad or that are abroad. And as we had that gap last year, maybe trying to talk to these students that are right now here, if you have the chance to get their emails and to email them, that would be really great. Yeah, because you will get very important information for you. I'm sure about that. The most popular option for living is family stay. we have always had like 70% of our students are in family stays. In the like 20% in the residence hall, and then the rest for apartments, very few for apartment stays. But it's an option too, so you have to check which is the one that is more interesting for you. Right now in the fall, so those students that came from Northwestern didn't have the option of a family stay because we were right after like the vaccination process has been finishing in August, so we wanted to not have families involved in the fall semester, but family stay as an option is coming back in the spring. Okay, so next semester from January on, we will have family stays back, and we hope that they are an option for the future too, if you're thinking ahead. No, I imagine. Okay, thank you. So you can see the student contact information, no, Jessica?
Yes,
so,
yep. It was recently updated, so the 3 students that are there, you should be able to email them. Maddie, yes, the recording will be available on the Study Abroad Week page, probably mid to late next week. So it'll be up there. And I'm probably going to post this on the actual program page too, since it's program specific.
Okay, thank you. So I don't know if you have any other question, but remember, you can always get back. Yes, you can either access the Northwestern Study Abroad office or directly email us through the University of Deusto webpage. You can find our email there, so you're welcome to contact us too. And any question that you have when you think ahead about your plans for the study abroad in the future, we are happy to answer those.